There we go. Hey everybody, there we go. Welcome to the Joey Jones Ask Me Anything live stream on a Monday night. We're gonna riff a little, and you can put all your questions in the chat. I'm gonna answer as many as I possibly can while I'm sweating in my flat here. It's brutally hot here in Berlin, and we're gonna live stream a little bit. You're gonna hear a couple riffs. You're gonna hear a couple, soloing ideas, and then I'm answering a couple of your questions, and then we go back to riffing again. Come hang, let's get started. It's gonna be fun. So let's get started here. One sec. One little prep here, and we are off to the races. There we go. Here we go. Welcome to the AMA, Ask Me Anything, on a Monday night while I'm sweating profusely because it's so hot here in Berlin, my flat. What's up, everybody? While more people are chiming in, please be courageous, ask your questions in the chat. Whatever questions you have, I'm going to answer as many as I possibly can within the hour that we're live, or a little less than an hour, I guess. Got a couple questions here already. You can hear I'm a little bit rusty, Haven't been playing in a while because I've been on vacation. I've been away on another trip. I'm going on another trip tomorrow. Super busy this summer, so not a lot of guitar playing going on. That's also the reason why there's not a lot of YouTube videos right now, guys. So I apologize, but we will be back to regular schedule soon. So as soon as the next 2 weeks are over, I got plenty of good stuff coming. And a lot of it involves new Joey Jones music, which is awesome. And you're going to hear about that pretty soon. But first, let's dive into this AMA here, into the questions that we're going to get. So let's see. Dean Green is here. Nice, Les Paul Jr. Thanks. It's not a Les Paul Jr. It's the Joey Jones signature by Nick Hoover, but it's definitely based on a Les Paul Jr., so thank you. Hans Vorst is in the chat. Hey, what's up? Carrie from AJ is here. Nice to see you today. Can't stay here for long, but want to say thank you for the inspiration and motivation. I'm enjoying the downloads I got from you. Hey, you're welcome, man. That's what the channel is for. The channel is for inspiration. The channel is for you to watch what I'm doing, and hopefully you're getting a lot of inspiration out of that stuff, and you're playing more, and that just makes for a better life, right? So you're welcome, Carrie. It's a shame you can't stay for long, but maybe you could watch the rest later if you want to. And maybe there's a couple questions that you find interesting. And we got, what do we have here? Dean Green, great tone too. Thanks. It's just the Fractal FM line for this live stream. Not a lot of fancy stuff. Where are you at? I'm in Berlin, man. Here, Germany. I'm German, in case you didn't know. Where can I get the lyrics of Rise Again? We're gonna get the lyrics of Rise Again. Is it not in Spotify? If it's not in Spotify, someone did a bad job putting them in. I guess the lyrics for... Not sure. If it's not in Spotify, I will make sure it is there soon. So if it's not there shortly, you will have the opportunity to read them in Spotify or on Spotify. That's what should be the case. I didn't know this wasn't the case, but lyrics are about somebody who is pretty much beaten down from life and from, the challenges we all face in life. And Rise Again is about conquering that and saying, all right, I'm at rock bottom, but I'm going to rise again. I know it's hard right now, but I know at the end of this tunnel, it's going to be great again. And that's something we always need to remind ourselves of, because that's what life throws at us, right? Cool. What do we have next? Latency issues when I try to record. How do you not have any, even on a live? From sunny SoCal. Hey man, Rod. Greetings to SoCal. It's also sunny here in Berlin, apart from the fact that it's nighttime. So it's not technically sunny, but SoCal is nice. Been there. No. Have I? No, I've been to North California, not to Southern California. Yet. Latency issues. You can adjust that in your streaming device, in your OBS or streaming software. That's not an issue. Ivan says, hi Joey Jones, greetings from Brazil. Hey man, obrigado. Greetings right back to you. How's life over there in Brazil? Pretty nice to see people from all walks of life, from all the different continents. And Leonidas says, hello from Greece. I'm going to be in Greece in September for another vacation. So Greece is nice. I've never been actually, but hopefully it's going to be nice. So how about... Oh, there's another question before we play on. Will you go on tour with Shady Bell? Maybe. So there initially were plans to play concerts this year in Germany and France and the Netherlands. We had the opportunity to play a couple shows in Europe, but schedules between Tim and I just did not align. We couldn't make it happen schedule-wise, which was a shame. I was very bummed out about that. But there hopefully will be shows in the future. So I'm looking at next year festival summer. There might be one or two maybe in Germany. And if we're lucky, maybe someplace else too. But it would be in Europe for sure. Mainland Europe and nothing else, pretty sure. Because, hey, we're a pretty unknown band. And touring is expensive. Not even established touring acts make a lot of money off of touring these days. So can't expect anything from a small band like Shady Bell. However, I do appreciate all the requests to play live. A lot of people are hitting me up. Hey, when there's going to be a Shady Bell live show? And I would love to say it's on that date, in that city. But it's not that easy. Schedules need to align. Tim has a huge family, has 4 kids. and he's got a lot of stuff to manage in his life. And I'm also a pretty busy person. So we're trying to prioritize that in 2026. 2025, I fear there won't be any Shady Bell shows just yet. But be patient. If everything goes right, there will be a couple next year, maybe. Right. Okay, so with that being said, let me show you what we're playing here today. I'm going to show you a super cool little chord progression, which you can solo over, which always sounds nice, and it's this one. So we're in A, and basically what we're doing is we're playing power chords all over the fretboard. So we're playing an A power chord up here, and we're moving to an F, and then to a C, and then to a D. And this gives you this loop. I've recorded here on my looper. And the cool thing about this is you can use your minor pentatonics with this kind of chord progression. Always sounds nice like this. But what you can also do is you can include the entire Aeolian mode into it, and it still sounds nice, and it just gets more and more and more melancholic. Listen. Right? Aeolian mode always makes things, so dramatic. And then there's one more mode you can use with this exact chord progression, which also sounds nice, but it's more positive sounding. It's Dorian. Right? So Dorian, another one you can use in this chord progression as well. So there's almost no wrong notes when you're playing A, F, C, E, in that combination. And then you combine all these things. just like that. And when we think about moving in other boxes, for instance, it's really nice how you can move from octave to octave and the chord progression is just always fitting. You can always land on that A, and it always sounds just nice and powerful, you know? That's nice, right? That's how I usually find my melodic licks, you know? I just move through different scales, and then sometimes I stumble upon something that I just keep repeating because it sticks in my head, you know? It's nice. Especially this line down here. See, that is just one of those super powerful chord progressions. I'm going to show it to you once more. It's just A, F, C, E. And that in combination, there's just so much stuff you can do with that. Just like minor pentatonics all over the fretboard, Aeolian mode always sounds nice. You know, sprinkle in some Dorian notes. By the way, all these modes you can learn with my melodic soloing guitar course. You can find the link in the description down below. And by the way, we're running a 30% sale right now until July 4th because 4th of July is a day to celebrate, right? So there's a 30% discount in the store-wide discount on all the guitar courses. So whatever you want to pick, 30% off with the code July30. I forgot to mention that, but it's super important. So if you want to get that until this Friday, you can get that kind of discount. After that, prices are going back to normal. Now, let's get back to some more questions here. Ivan says, I will practice guitar with a loop pedal. It's much more fun. Thanks for inspiring me. You're welcome, Ivan. Man, that's exactly what we're here for. And looper pedals are so fun, especially if you're playing a lot on your own, alone in a room, and you would just want to have some sort of companion to, you know, lay a foundation so you can solo over. I teach a lot of the stuff in my courses with looper pedals because it's just the most practical way to learn modes, learn scales, play over actual music. I mean, backing tracks are nice, but being able to, you know, hammer in your own backing track real quick and change it as you go, it's just super nice. So there you go, lots to learn with the looper pedal. Maestro Fuss says, yeah, Joey, greetings from Croatia. Hey man, I just was in Croatia like 2 weeks ago. Was there with friends, spent a week of vacation there. Super nice. In, near a village called Imotski. I think that was the name, if I pronounce it correctly. That's it. Super nice country. Enjoyed everything. Enjoyed the food, enjoyed the weather, enjoyed the heat, and really liked it. So Croatia, that's where it's at, man. Hey Milad, hey Rod. Gotta learn that run-up. Yeah, man, I mean, those run-ups, basically, I teach them in the Power Pentatonics guitar course. I teach that exact run-up, because it's basically just a technique where you use slides to connect different pentatonic boxes on the fretboard. You find tabs and the in-depth explanation about these things in the Power Pentatonics guitar course. Super helpful if you want to learn that kind of stuff, like connecting boxes all over the fretboard. That's what this course is for. So yeah, you make it look so easy. It's not easy, man. You can hear I'm rusty. Like, I'm not playing clean today. I'm pretty sloppy today. Haven't played in a while. Was on vacation, couple trips, you know. Not a lot of time to practice, or at least stay in shape. But that will come back as I play more. Once the summer, goes away, I'll naturally be playing more. Is that the same for you? Do you play more in summer or more in winter? I'm eager to know. Let me know in the chat. Dean has a question. Joey, walk me through your process on how you come up with riffs. For some context, let's say you're jamming with friends, or playing along a drum track. How would you come up with one? Very good question, Dean. And there's different approaches, but in general, usually, I will look at the guitar as a rhythm instrument first. Now, you might be saying, duh, Joey, obviously when you're riffing, you're looking at rhythm for sure. But what I mean is, sometimes riffs are created through looking at guitar through a different lens. So for instance, I am a huge fan of drums, and I can play drums a little bit, but really only a little bit. But sometimes I envision a drum beat in my head, and then based on where the bass drum and the kicks and the snares are in that drum beat that I'm imagining, I will come up with the riff. Here's an example. So, an old song of mine called Nice Try. This is the riff. And this is a riff that is based on a drum beat that I heard first. I heard the drum beat that goes, and basically what I did is I mimicked that with the guitar. So an open E string is my kick, and this D octave here, 5th fret and 7th fret, is my snare. So if the drum beat goes do do da do 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 da do, what I have to do is play. That is, for instance, a way to come up with the riff. Sometimes I mimic what I hear in other instruments on a guitar, and there you go, there's my riff. Pretty straightforward, right? So basically, sometimes, you can come up with riffs just by, experimenting with melodies, That's also possible when you're going for something super melodic, but sometimes you want that energy. And when we're talking about riffs, like riffs in a strict sense of playing, then usually it's rhythm based. So I love to play around with drums. I have drum plugins here. For all the stuff that you're hearing in the YouTube channel where there's drums behind, that's usually a drum plugin that I'm using. And very often a drum beat will inspire the riff. Or I will have a riff and I will adjust the drum beat to be perfectly in line with that riff. So that's one of the most frequent ways to come up with riffs for me, because I look at it from a rhythm perspective. Sometimes also, let's say I want to write a song that people should jump to when they hear it live. Then what I will do is I will stand here and jump in the way that I am comfortably jumping, and I use that tempo to write a certain riff. Because that will make sure then if I'm shouting into a microphone, jump, 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 jump on, let's say, at a summer festival or something, the song is in exactly that tempo so people can jump to it. So sometimes, these outer circumstances will inspire a riff, It's whatever you come up with and whatever you want to achieve, pretty much. So, but mainly it's about concentrating on rhythm rather than concentrating on super sophisticated melodies. Or obviously, we can do shit like, I don't know, like let's say we're tuning down to drop D real quick. I mean, you can come up with the coolest stuff like super fast. That's nice too. That's like a, I don't know, that's a riff that I wrote when I was 16 years old. And I pretty much wrote it around the fact that all these open strings in drop D, they have all these pull-offs with the open string. So you pull off from a note to the open string and all these strings are sounding right. I don't even have to pick these things. And that's because it's all hammer-ons and pull-offs. I'm just using a couple of picks here to, make it sound more articulate. So in that case, the riff comes through the possibility of playing all these open notes. So, pretty much messing around with a new tuning. So whatever is inspiring, I will use to create a new riff. Whether it be the opportunity to play a lot of open strings and have lots of pull-offs and hammer-ons in there, whether it is a drum beat that I find incredibly inspiring, whether it's a certain tempo that I want to use so people act accordingly in the crowd, hopefully. If I want to write a real headbanger, I have a certain tempo in mind where you go like, something like, here's another old riff of mine called King of the Night. Oh, sorry. And it's no coincidence that is exactly the tempo to, do this while having a beer in your hand. Oh yeah, that's a real headbanger kind of riff, And you choose that tempo exactly for that. So all these different things inspire riffs. I hope that answer is helping. I know it's pretty in-depth, but it's one of the things that's very close to my heart when it comes to guitar playing is actually writing. Writing good riffs, writing good songs makes all the difference. You can practice yourself into oblivion playing all this fast stuff, The thing is, nobody really cares if it's not based on a song that people like. At the end of the day, what we want to hear is cool songs, right? So writing really is the skill that is very overlooked amongst guitar players, at least. Right. Next question here. Have you heard about the new teleport looper pedal? If you haven't, it'd be worth looking into when you have a few minutes. Patrick, thanks for the recommendation. I haven't heard about it. First off, I don't know what the teleport looper is, and I didn't know there was a new version of that. So, I'm not sure. No, I don't know. But always a fan of looping. Ever since I started the looping videos on my channel, looping has become even more so important because now it's not just me looping on my own. Now you're all witnessing what I'm looping and what I'm stacking on top of each other, I'll have a look. And if it's cool, I might try it out. John says, hey, Joey. Hey, John. What's up? Al Roberts. Hey, man. Love your Telecaster tone vids. What are your thoughts on a wet, dry, wet rig for a richly layered live sound? I'm not sure. So, wet, dry, what was it? Wet, dry, wet. See, the thing about stereo is complicated. So when you're at home like I am right now, what you're hearing here is a stereo delay because I'm in stereo. And it's sounding nice and cool, but I'm not quite sure if you hear it in stereo because it might be, it might be a mono stream. I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm in stereo here because I have two monitors in front of me, left and right. And when there's something happening in stereo, I can, I have all the benefits of that because I'm hearing it correctly, right? However, live, nobody in the audience really hears stereo because you're almost never in the perfect spot where you hear the left and the right speaker doing its thing in a stereo setup, So stereo, as much as I love it here because I can play around with stereo chorus and stereo delays and stereo everything. In fact, everything you're hearing on all my YouTube videos is a stereo guitar signal because usually once I kick in the Keeley Halo delay, which is obviously the best delay in the world, it's always stereo. So that's nice, but we're not live. I can mix that stuff afterwards and make it sound great for you because you'll be listening in a controlled environment. Live, with all the noise going on, with loud cymbals, with loud drums, with a loud singer. I'm not a huge fan of the wet, dry, wet thing, mainly because it's so much effort to do for very little effect that the crowd will notice, And that's why I would probably always go with a mono rig live. That would be my thing. Now, if we're talking about fattening up your sound by using two amps at the same time, I'm all for it. That's nice. But stereo effects in a live setting, I guess there is a case to be made if everybody's on in-ears and it's a completely silent stage, so it's a super controlled environment. You could make the case that stereo effects will probably be heard in the audience and heard in the first row, and it will make a huge difference. But to be honest, I don't think we need that. Like if you're playing with your band and you really want a stereo effect, let the sound guy do it with his soundboard, because he can make sure it actually sounds good. And you only need one amp to do that. He can always turn on a stereo effect for you. And that's why I think it's too much effort. It's a lot of stuff to carry, man. I mean, Al, what do you want to do? Carry around 2-3 amps and cabinets? I don't think that's necessary. If you really want it, I guess go ahead. But I don't think it makes a big enough difference to justify the effort you have. Right. John says, I love coming up with riffs. I love writing songs. My problem is getting drums to match up. Hey, man, invest, maybe 100 euros or something into a drum plugin, and there you go. It's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward. Patrick says, check out that looper. It's not only a looper, it allows you to send samples to other users. Super helpful for sharing ideas with bandmates when you're not physically together. Wow, that's some next level stuff. Right. Cool stuff. We got Felix here in the chat. Hey man, have you tried a Fender Teleplayer 2 already? What do you think about it? Thinking about buying one, but for lefties there are not so many options. Felix, stay here. Give me a sec. This is a Player Series 2 Telecaster. Funny you mention it. There it is. Should I play it for you? No worries. It's been sitting here in the corner for a while, but I'm happy to play it for you. Especially if you're a lefty. Because this is a lefty. This is highly a yellow. This is a Player Series 2 Telecaster. Okay, guys, let's use this occasion to talk about Telecasters a little bit, okay? This is an $800 Telecaster that Fender sent me because Fender is nice and they're appreciating my contribution to the Telecaster world, if you will. Wow, it's still in tune. Who would have thought? This is a Player Series 2 Telecaster. It sounds like a Telecaster. Hey, should we loop that and have a fun little jam? Let's do it! Hell yeah! Hey, what about that? Fender Player Series Telecaster. This is the Series 2, and it's a very good guitar. Actually, there's a shootout on my channel between this and my custom shop 52 Telecaster sitting in the back there. And my conclusion pretty much was, it's a very good sounding Telecaster. As you can hear, it's everything you want a Telecaster to sound like. There we go, here's the neck pickup. Sounds very different to my neck pickup in the 52. Can get glassy too. There you go. That doesn't sound like a good Telecaster. I'm not sure what does. Let's get a good old slap delay here. I'm rusty today. And the bridge pickup rocks. I mean, isn't that a great sound? I love it. It's a great guitar for 800 bucks. Obviously, it doesn't feel like a custom shop instrument. It can't. It can't feel like a custom shop instrument. But if you don't have that comparison all the time like I have, you'll be very happy with this guitar because it's a super nice feeling satin neck. It's not too heavy. And the feel overall is nice. The advantages are that the Play Series 2 has rolled fingerboard edges, and that's very important for the feel. And it's a very good guitar. Like if my 52 Telecaster, if that guitar just, I don't know, breaks a string, I'm happy to just change to this guitar. This would be a super good backup live. I can highly recommend it. Super good guitar. Great value for the money. You could argue maybe that a Squier Classic Vibe might be even better money for value, because you can easily just change the pickups and then the guitar is at least as good, but doesn't cost as much, But overall, oh, that's a nice sound. Listen to that. So good. I hope that answers your question. It's a little out of tune, but I haven't played it much. Anyway, so yeah, buy a Play Series 2 Telecaster if you're in the market for one and you don't want to spend more than $1,000. Go get it. Nice. I also like the color. Next question here. I have a drum machine but don't know how to program it. Pre-programmed beats just never seem to fit with what I come up with. Any advice? Also, I'm terrible with a DAW using Reaper. I don't have much experience with Reaper, to be honest. I'm always in the Apple universe using Logic, so can't help with that, John. I'm sorry. Okay, you're welcome, Al. No worries. If I saved you from going through that wet, dry, wet nightmare and all the stuff you have to do, get everything in phase too. If everything is mic'd, it's better not to do it, I guess. Okay. You're welcome, Felix. Order one. That's a good idea. Rod, does your custom Tele have 3 saddles, and do you like the individual per string saddles for intonation? Hey man, Rod, very good question. So, everybody looking for a Telecaster, here's an important thing to look at. The modern Telecasters, like this one, they have the 6 saddles for separate intonation per string. My vintage reissue kind of thing from the custom shop has the... Here it is. Here's the one you all want to see. Here's the 52 custom shop that you all know and love. This one has the vintage saddles with the 3 barrels, and then you have 3 different grooves. You have 6 different grooves, 2 per barrel here. And the problem behind that design is that you can't separately intonate these strings. So I'm never a fan of that. But as you can see, I still have them on. How? That's because I changed these, or the owner before me, like the previous owner, he changed these barrels for compensated saddles. So I don't know if we can do that here, but maybe you can see it. The grooves here that are in there, they are compensated. So every string is already perfectly intonated, but you're keeping the old design. That's what I did, or that's what the previous owner did, and I really, really like it, because if there's one thing that I can't stand, guys, it is guitars that are not in tune all over the fretboard. I think in 2025, there is no reason to have an old guitar design that doesn't allow you to have perfect intonation all over the fretboard. So if you have vintage saddles, go get some brass compensated saddles. They will change your life, because I can show it to you. Because this guitar is dead in tune, even with the vintage design, with the vintage saddles. A chord like this could never be in tune with the vintage Tele. But it is. And that is because I have compensated saddles. But get them in brass. That's the material you want to get, because has the most resonance, has the most sustain. Just sounds amazing. Show me a vintage Tele that can do that, like a C chord in the 15th fret that sounds dead on. Almost no Tele can do that. That's only possible because of the compensated sound. So get them, because they're great. Now you can also hear the difference between the Player Series 2 and the Custom Shop Telecaster. This is way more aggressive. This is way more raunchy. It has a little bit less of that super harsh treble. It's definitely a more Les Paul sounding kind of Telecaster. It's a little bit darker, and I guess that's what you all love about it. That's what you all love about the sound of this. Good question, Al. No, it wasn't Al, it was Rod. I'm sorry. I hope that answers your question, Rod. We got Roberto Narducci. Is that pronounced correctly, Roberto? I hope it is. Ciao, Roberto. Greetings to Italy. Love that country. Nick Huber Grandi Guitarra. Okay, I don't understand all the Italian, but I think it's something like Nick Huber is a great guitar, and the Telecaster is too. Great. We got Chicago Timmer in the chat. Hey man, what's up? How's Chicago these days? Is it warm? I hope so. We got HoloLeg 13. Just got my first custom shop Telecaster, the 54 Relic. Would never have purchased it if not for your channel. Thank you. Oh man, that's great to hear. Hopefully, I mean, these stories are the best thing for me, guys. If you have to understand, when you're doing YouTube or Instagram, and I'm doing both, what you do is you create all that stuff and then you send it out into the world, and then the information flow stops. I never get to see what you do with these kinds of videos. I never get to see how much you improve through these kinds of videos, you know? I never get to see what kind of examples you're taking out of the videos and use for your own. Obviously, I design my videos in a way so you can do that, but I never get to see the result. And then when I see these kinds of comments, that really warms my heart, guys. Like if you're playing with your 50 whatever custom shop Telecaster now and you love it, and that's because of one of the videos you've seen on my channel, I love that, man. If I can, you know, create some positive change in your lives, it's the best thing that I could ever do. So, right. Quick reminder that there's a 4th of July sale going on in my entire shop. Still until July 4th, you can get every guitar course for 30% off. Please, if you're interested in guitar courses, get them now. Get them until this Friday, because after that, we're going back to normal prices. So, store-wide 4th of July sale, 30% on all the items in the shop. So, grab a couple and equip yourself over the summer. Play a little guitar while there's good weather. and do it now, because now the prices are just fine. Cool, man. Here's Thomas. Have you ever tried the Brunetti Taxi Drive? I don't even know what that is, to be honest, man. Tell me what it is. Somebody tell me, what's the Brunetti Taxi Drive? If so, what do you think about it? I like that there is almost no change on the character of a guitar tone. Thomas, I apologize. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Brunetti Taxi Drive? It sounds like a computer game. It just sounds like something I would play on my PlayStation, maybe. It's warm. I'm at work. There you go. So can you tell your boss you're watching Joey Jones on your work day? That's probably getting him hyped. You know, that's what he likes. 5 What Works says, "What's up, Joey? Hey, man. What's up? What's going on? What is going on?" Okay, guys, should we play a little more? What do we think? Should we play? I don't know. Now I got the Telecaster out. We could try something. Shall I just go and see what inspires me? Maybe I can come up with something on the spot. What do you think? Like maybe with these exact settings? Long delay. Something like that, huh? Maybe let's loop that. I just got lost there for a second, if you guys couldn't tell. It's like I got just, you know, I just played and played and played and played and played and played. I just totally forgot that we're on stream here, you know? Very nice. Somebody says, it's John, liking that chord progression. Can you please say the chords? Of course, it's C sharp with a 9. And the 2 open strings on the bottom. And then the same for the A, that's an A9. And then it's an E9. E major 9. So that's C sharp minor with a 9. A major 9. It's late, guys. It's late here in Germany. And then an E major 9. That's the chord. Makes for a very aerial kind of thing. And then if you're soloing over it with, you know, E major pentatonic or just C sharp minor pentatonic, same thing pretty much, but that's always what happens with the Telecaster. You get these semi-clean sounds, then you find a cool magic chord progression, then you get lost for an hour. That's what I do when I'm not, you know, when I'm not in front of a camera. That's what I do in here too. Like, you guys watch me doing the normal thing here. I'm just, you know, if I find an idea, I'll just play over it. And maybe I'll write a song, maybe I'll do a YouTube video, all these different things. Right. Yeah, do we have any more questions, or should we call it a day? There is one more. Felix, which guitar players are you influenced the most by when you started playing guitar? When I started playing guitar? So, when I started playing guitar, obviously the guys that inspired me when I started are much different than the guys who are inspiring me nowadays. But let me tell you. So, first guitar player to ever inspire me is Angus Young. Why? Because of this riff. You know, Whole Lotta Rosie. My dad played it in his car all the time. The Let There Be Rock album, and then later on I discovered the Power Age album. And I just love riffs like. So AC/DC was the biggest thing for me when I was like 8 years old. That was, you know, I mean, that energy, that raw energy was just, that resonated with me a lot. And then didn't take long, I discovered my melodic heart, because AC/DC really isn't all that melodic, right? It's very energy driven. It's very pentatonic-y, and it's very groovy, but it's not very melodic. But I discovered very early that I have a deep love for melodic stuff. And the first thing that really resonated with me was, I guess, would be something like, so Stairway to Heaven. Jimmy Page, to this day, is my absolute guitar god. I mean, Zeppelin, I guess you can't name a Zeppelin tune that I can't play at least some of it. Because I did like a Led Zeppelin deep dive from age 9 to age 12 or something. There for like 3 years of my life, I listened to nothing but Led Zeppelin. I played nothing but Led Zeppelin. Because Led Zeppelin is the ultimate blueprint for a band that can do it all. Led Zeppelin could be this this, and also could be. So Led Zeppelin to me was like, there was like the initial ignition, I would say, came through Angus Young, AC/DC, but then shortly after that, I was so immersed with Led Zeppelin too. And so Led Zeppelin is, all the great melody stuff, the Lydian stuff that they've done, the No Quarter, that song, that riff on the organ is amazing, and I love Jimmy Page solo over it. So it was pretty much those two bands, and then I got a little bit into Deep Purple too, but not too much. I was never like a big Purple guy, so it would be Zeppelin, Angus Young, and then I would say later on in my teenage years, it quickly became Metallica. Metallica was the band that no other band could beat for me when I was 16 years old, because same as with Led Zeppelin, I could play pretty much every Metallica riff there is, just because I did nothing but play Metallica for years. So that would be it. Okay. Any more questions? Because I need to call it a day soon, guys. It's past midnight here in Germany, and it's pretty late. Let's do 3 more questions and then we get going here. I gotta get rolling. Yannick asks, thoughts on the Synergy Syn 20 whatever for studios? No idea. I have never tried any of this Synergy stuff, so I can't really help with that. I'm sorry. If I'm playing amps, I'm playing, old school amps. And I've heard of those modules. I don't know how good they are, but, can't really speak about these things. We got Roberto, the Telecaster is suitable for blues rock. Play some Clapton on it if you can. Play Clapton on it? All right. Clapton on a Telecaster. Let's see what I can do. My Clapton arsenal is not that small because my dad is like a lifetime Clapton fan. I mean, if you play him Clapton, then my dad is going to absolutely freak out. He loves Eric Clapton. I know a lot of Eric Clapton stuff. Can I play some Eric Clapton stuff is the question. Let's see. So maybe... Haha, I got something. I think I got something. Listen up, guys. Joey's gonna play some Clapton for you. Maybe like this. Okay, listen. This is Clapton. I'm gonna play Clapton now. You guys are gonna tell me what the song is named. Tell me the name of this Clapton song. When he does that. There we go. Felix knows it. It's Old Love. And all the other answers he gave were just crap, guys. Wonderful Midnight. Freebird is a nice answer too. And yeah. All right. Yeah, it's Old Love. You can play, it goes to show you can play Clapton on Italian. the other Clapton thing to play would probably be something like something like that, you know, it's Layla, you know. Right, guys, if there's not any more questions, I'm gonna say it one last time. There's a July 4th sale in my shop. 30% off on all the items that you want to get, but only until July 4th, which is this Friday. So if you want to grab something from the store, from the shop, grab it now, because after Friday, prices go back to normal. So if you want to get the Melodic soloing guitar course, which you should definitely do because it has all my soloing secrets in it, go grab it for 30% off. That would be, I guess, $69 or something. It's not too shabby. If you want to play better pentatonics, go grab the Power Pentatonics guitar course because it teaches to play stuff like something like that. And if you want to know everything that I know about guitar tone, check out the tone course. It's my most extensive course. It's over 2.5 hours long. And there's so many secrets inside. How to dial in amps, how to dial in modulars, how to dial in impulse responses, what are the best speakers with certain amps, how should you stack overdrive pedals into each other to get a great sound. So everything that I've learned over 25 years playing guitar, it's in the tone course when it comes to how to create a juicy guitar tone. And we go over different guitar models, amp models, effect models, all these different things. So all these different courses, and also all of my guitar packs. So if you like any of the songs that I'm playing on the channel and you want the backing track and the taps, go grab it too. All that stuff is 30% off with the code July 30. You'll find it in the shop. So check that out. And I wish you a good night. And I'm going to play you out with some cool stuff, I think. And then we're going to call it a day. Let's do it. See you guys.